So Dan is asking, with the Fed funding everything now, how are things going to play out? Thank you. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about today because I understand news drives everything, but the thing I like about technical analysis is when do we buy? Okay, so we're literally going to be talking about that today and what we need to do. John says people that get stopped out have a hard time getting back into the market. I get that. I get that. But again, all that could be overcome once we understand when to be in a trade, when not to be in a trade. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But let me start by saying this. Yes, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about the coronavirus. We've been sitting, waiting to see where's this bottom, where's this bottom, where's this bottom. There are signs that are beginning to develop on these charts that we're monitoring that says you need to start getting ready for a rally. At this point in time, I am not eager to recommend anybody shorting anything right now based on what I see. It's almost like 2008 on steroids. It seems like that's what we're going to be getting pretty soon. Now, the Feds came in. The Fed said they're going to announce all this stuff. They've been cutting interest rates and everything. So let me do this. In 2008, let's go to the S&P 500. In 2008, and what I'm going to do here is go to the weekly chart. And I think I mentioned that also in the weekly report, the right side report. In 2008, in November 25th of 2008, okay, this was when they made the first announcement that they were going to start the stimulus plan. Okay, November 25th, 2008. If we were to go here, it was around this candle right here. Oops, wrong one. Let's try that again. It was right here. Okay, so right around here, this area right here was when they announced that they would start this whole stimulus package. By that time, the Fed's already cut interest rates down to 0. And then now they announced the package. Market attempted a rally, started, but then failed. Does anybody know why it failed right here? Anybody know why it failed? All right. The reason why I believe it failed was because there was back and forth between the Democrats and Republicans whether or not they were going to approve it on all that kind of stuff. Finally, in February, on February 17, 2019, so February 17, 2009, sorry, February 17, 2009, it was signed into law. It was passed. That was somewhere around here. Markets went down for about 2 to 3 more weeks, and then we hit absolute bottom. And then we rallied from that point on. If history was to repeat itself, or if we were to have any any guidance from what happened previously in 2008, we're looking at a time period of approximately 3 weeks, right? From the time it got approved. Right now, it hasn't been signed into law yet. That's what they're trying to do. From the time it got signed into law to the time we hit the absolute bottom was in 3 weeks. The government is willing to step in and do whatever it takes. So, should we start buying today is the question because of all this new information. So that brings me now to what we're seeing on the chart today. So let me bring you back here today. Now, based on the weekly chart, there is nothing right now today on the weekly chart that tells us anything. And it makes sense because, again, you have to analyze every weekly chart on the last day, which is on Friday. So for that reason, we're not going to pay attention to the weekly chart right now because we'll literally need to wait till Friday before we can say anything. However, if we go to the daily chart, here is where things are beginning to pick up. This is a concept I don't really teach too much, but since it's happening, I figured, you know what, I'll go ahead and share it. And that is this. I don't know how many people, let me do this. How many people know, let me take off today's price action. How many people know what this signal is down here? Does anybody know what this is right here? Anybody? Anybody knows what that signal is down there? These two candles, by the way, is a bearish engulfing signal. So all of you guys, Warren, Bradley, Lisa, great job, Art. All you guys who said bearish engulfing, that is a bearish engulfing signal. Now, what's the problem with this bearish engulfing signal? Does anybody know what the problem is? Just curious. What is the problem with this bearish engulfing signal? So the answer is the problem with this bearish engulfing signal is it's occurring in a downtrend. See, a bearish signal is supposed to occur at an uptrend. Lou, excellent. So this is happening after a downtrend. Okay, a bearish signal is supposed to occur after an uptrend, not after a downtrend. A bullish signal is what we need to see after a downtrend. A bearish signal is supposed to be seen after an uptrend. So 9 times out of 10, almost 9.5 times out of 10, when we see a bearish signal after a downtrend, guess what? It's a fake signal. This is a fake signal. Because a lot of people understand what a bearish signal is. Oh, we got bearish signal. Let's go ahead and start shorting. And sometimes you'll see 1, 2, maybe even up to 3 to 4 days where it seems like it's going lower. And then, boom, you start seeing the reversal. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about this. This candle on Friday is a fake bearish signal. That is a fake signal. Why do we know it's a fake bearish signal? Because it's a bearish engulfing signal that occurs after a downtrend. A bearish engulfing signal needs to occur in an uptrend. So it's location. This is what I call location. So think about real estate, and you have a pretty house in a bad neighborhood. Just think about this. And now you have a mansion built in that bad neighborhood. How many people will be interested in buying that house just because it's a mansion in such a bad neighborhood, right? Nobody. Well, this is what's happening here. Location is the wrong location. It's a horrible location. The mere fact that you built something so shiny in a horrible location tells me it's fake. So now that I know that it's fake, 9 times out of 10, what you would tend to see, even if it goes down, is you start seeing a reversal back to the upside. So I'm here to say right now, that is a big warning sign. Now, not only did we have that on the S&P, so then I decide, let's go to the NASDAQ and see what's happening on the NASDAQ. And lo and behold, on Friday, guess what we had? The exact same thing. This is where I say the market is not random. Somebody knows something. And by the way, let me go back to my SPX and bring back today's data. So let me go back here. Let's correct this bar, bring back today's data. So even though we had a drop in price, it's all part of that fake signal. Then I went to the Dow. Lo and behold, guess what we had? The exact same fake signal. This is not coincidence anymore. This is not coincidence anymore. The Dow Jones Transportation, guess what we had? The exact same bearish. I need to take this one off. I think I just drew that one there. So clear this. Yes, I just drew that one. I was teaching my coaching students earlier today. So right here, the exact same bearish signal. Fake. Okay. For a market, if you've ever heard me say this before, a market in unison. Okay. Whatever time frame, especially on the daily, weekly, monthly, if we see the exact same candle, especially on all 5, I would take 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. Okay. But you see it on 4 out of 5 or all 5, especially if you see it on all 5, ladies and gentlemen, that is a market in unison. We are dealing with a market in unison right now. The last time we saw a market in unison was back on January 24th on the weekly chart when I was telling people, don't expect this market to go higher again. Now I'm saying we have a market in unison in the form of this fake signal that is telling us get ready for a potential to the upside. The odds are so much higher now. Again, I would not encourage it, and I'm not supposed to. So let's just put it today. I will not be interested in shorting anything in the coming days. If anything, I am going to start getting ready to start looking for buying opportunities.